Yeah, hello, my people. My name is Chinedu Anichi, your one and only celebrity CSO, and this is Chinedu Anichi TV, streaming live from United States of America. And today we have a very important person, an artist, an international one for that matter, award-winning Afrobeat. I don't need to say anything more, but let me just present to you humbly and most respectfully, Baba Kuboye, the Afrobeat giant. So have him in the show and be blessed. Baba, can you just introduce yourself formally to our audience?
Oh, good afternoon to my audience in the US. Good evening to my audience in Nigeria. Hello, everybody. My name is Baba Kuboye. I'm an Afrobeat artist. I live out here in Dallas, Texas, originally from Lagos, Nigeria. Live now on Chinedu Anichi's show. Thank you for having me on Voice of People in the Diaspora. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yep. Oh. So, my people, you have seen Baba Kuboye, you have seen him. He appears simple, but he has a lot. He has a lot in his, What people say, man, no be size. So I know some people might be waiting for one big and tall guy. You're tall, but not fat, like big like me. But today, that's not what we're going to say. So, my people, today we have a big brother in the house. And I want you to tell our people a little background. You know, there is always a story behind every goal.
Plenty. How much time do we have?
Yeah. Well, no. You go just shorten them. You know, if you touch Osime will tell you, I hawked pure water. If you touch Timaya, I will say I sold my. If you touch even Sherikuti, your brother, he will have something to say. Yeah. So one of those two experiences that appears like story behind every glory.
Sure.
And your background, who is your father, your relationship with Fela. Some of those things are very important so that people will know you didn't just fall from nowhere.
Okay.
You become an Afrobeat giant.
Sure. So my name is Baba Tumida Kuboye, but that name is a bit long for people who are not, even among Nigerians. I'm a Yoruba boy. A lot of Yoruba people are not familiar with that name because that name is a unique name that my father gave me. My father is Tunde, Baba Tunde Kuboye, originally from Ondo State, Igbo Tako. I hail all my Ekiti people. I'm from Lagos. My mother is from Abeokuta, Frances Kuboye. They were both jazz musicians. I grew up listening and playing music with them. They had their own music venue in Ikoyi on Aolo Road in Ikoyi in Lagos back then. Fela is my uncle on my mother's side. He's my grandmother's brother. And like my parents, I was inspired by my parents and him because he would come and play at our venue every so often as well with his band. So I followed in the family legacy of Afrobeat. I studied in England. I did engineering because my parents said that, go and get a degree or two. I have a master's in engineering and a bachelor's as well. And I came to the USA. Now I'm in the USA. I'm in Dallas, Texas. And I'm an Afrobeat musician, following my parents. I'm a multi-instrumentalist. I play saxophone, alto and tenor. I play keys. I have my own band. I rap, I sing, I write my music. And I'm fulfilling my purpose, following in the journey or the path of my ancestors, going back to my great-great-grandfather, J.J. Ransom Kuti. He was a gospel singer and reverend. And then my great-grandmother, Fumilayo Ransom Kuti, who you might know was the first woman to drive a car in Nigeria and to also help fight for Nigeria's independence or negotiate Nigeria's independence. So in my own way today, I use my music to continue to serve the community with knowledge. I celebrate women. I talk about messages that I think are meaningful. I talk about mental health. I talk about gratitude. I celebrate women. I talk about racism. But I use my message, my music, as a vehicle, like other members of my family, to be able to share knowledge with the world through my music.
Wow, that's great. And my people, you have seen another fella is here. There are plenty fella people. Fella is a legend that you cannot forget.
Mm-hmm.
His kind of personality is replicated in different places. So I continue to tell people that people like fella, they don't just come. They are rare gifts to generation.
Mm-hmm.
And such people, before they are born, God prepares their parents to welcome such people. They don't just go to any kind of family, because their history and their name will continue to linger from generation to generation. So you can see another fella in Dallas, Texas, and you can see live. Okay, thank you, my brother, for coming to Chinedu Anichi TV show and the African voice in diaspora. What we do here is, because a lot of Europeans have written books about Africa, did movie about Africa, said a lot of things about Africa.
Yes.
So, but when I remember what our great novelist, just like your uncle, Chinedu Anichi, he propagated the statement that is indelible in my memory, which is one of the things that propelled me to come up with this platform. He said, if an outsider tells your story, it will never end without prejudice, because he does not know the feeling of those whose story have been told. So it's better for you to tell your own story. You use the word talk your own talk. So this platform is where Africans come to talk their own talk. Talk it in an African way, use African accents, use African traditional values to showcase our best. You're one of our celebrities, and that's why you're here. So you have told us the story of how you did engineering and all those things, and eventually you ended in music. How did that happen?
The music?
Yeah.
I was born into music. I grew up in it. My parents were musicians, are musicians. My mother is late. She died a few days after I fell out in 1997. But in my house, in my compound, they had a band, they had a venue. They were always rehearsing. They were always performing, on a Friday or Saturday night. If I open my front door and go outside, they have put table and chair for people to come and listen to music. Mostly expatriates and local people in Ikoyi that time. I'll come out and watch my parents play. So I was always inspired to follow in their footsteps of doing music. I would play with instruments when I'll play my video games or play with ball, but I also carry an instrument and play because it was available to me. So they never forced me. They never suggested I go into it, but it was just almost like a natural. In fact, they were suggesting I should do other things outside music because they don't want to. Sometimes when you come from a family of musicians, there's that pressure. Sometimes you want to carry on the legacy. But for me, it was natural. They just said, look, if this is what you want to do, we'll support you. But there are other things you can do with your life. But I listened to music, all kinds of music, jazz, high life, Afro jazz, funk, growing up. I would hear different types of music on the radio or my way to school or in school. But at home, I'll hear live music and a very different take on how they will play some of the popular music in a live environment. So that just whetted my appetite for it. So I did some music courses when I was able to help with songwriting, with music production in the UK to reinforce the knowledge, and to be honest, the engineering I did is really also music related because it's about frequencies. And yeah, so but when you look at things in terms of patterns and frequencies, that was what I studied in detail with physics. So my understanding of music is both sonic, is also passion, and is also what I've studied as well. So it was a natural progression. I started doing music in more earnest after I had finished my, Nigeria now, as we are with Nigerians, our parents, academic is very important to us. and it's a way for us to provide for ourselves. So as much as I was doing music part-time as I was studying, I started earnestly in music when I graduated from university. And I've never looked back since. I was doing it in the UK. I'll always love to go back to Nigeria when I can. In fact, I've gone to Nigeria to perform at Celebration a few times in the past. I've also done the same in the UK when they were there. In fact, I'm also hosting my own events, Celebration here in the US too, every now and again. And I've been on tour or perform my own music with the band or by myself in the US. Femi Kuti was touring the US with Madi, my cousin, a couple of years ago. We did some cities in California and Seattle. And I myself have gone with my band to places, festivals like South by Southwest in Austin, Texas. I'm looking to tour more the US. I'm doing Dallas, Atlanta, and Denver. Those are the dates we have confirmed now, starting in the next few weeks. But I'm just happy to be able to contribute my own quota to the purpose I have within my family of doing music in my own way. And I know a lot of people mention Fela a lot. I'm blessed that we come from the same family, it's in the blood. I really feel like if you know Fela, if you think of Fela as a legend, I think of everybody that's from my family as a legend. The problem is that Fela is the only popular one we all know and see. We all have the mentality, we all have the character, we all have the blessing of the mindset to be pioneers, to be musically or not musically inclined, but to serve. You know, at the end of the day, our purpose on earth is to help one another. And there are members of my family that many people will never know who, in their own way, contribute to making Nigeria, Africa, Pan-Africanism, even the world, a better place. Music was just a vehicle that helped Fela become a popular person. But it's all in the blood. Many of us are much like Fela in our own little ways as well.
Wow, that's great. So it's good, and you've done well. It's not just that. You see, there's what they call follow come in Nigeria. When they say something runs in the blood, just like you say. So you will see that people who ascribe that to you, they are not victims of hasty conclusion.
Mm.
They have empirical available data that can make them reconcile that claim. So, so if somebody says, I just like Fela, this is the person is not saying anything new to you, you know. So and follow come and follow come, follow come and follow come. If you see follow come, you didn't know. You say you are a multiple instrumentalist, right? Can you just play one of those things by your side? Let's hear.
You want me to play my saxophone for you?
Yeah.
Sure.
Wow.
What I play. So there was a song that was on the ballot for the last Grammy of my last album called Cultural Canvas. That song was called Soft Life. And that's the song that I play horns on all my songs. If I don't, I'll put my keyboard out for you. But I'll just play the intro part for the song for you so you know. So if you haven't heard my song Soft Life, you can go and listen to it. But this is the horn section that I used to open it.
Wow. Wow. So my people, you see, so that it doesn't look like I brought somebody who decorated where he was sitting with that before. So you people are seeing this is the real Kuboye, Baba Kuboye you are seeing. So my brother, you see, the choking angry finger of the labor market, of the economy, sorry, has been challenging to people realizing their talents in Africa. What's the most challenging thing you have experienced, or the challenging circumstance you have experienced, which you have learned from before you progressed to this level?
Wow, that's a very good question. And I'll try and answer it with my personal story, but also to see how I can help encourage anyone especially back home in Nigeria. You know, in Nigeria, where we're from, arts, anyone in the arts or creativity is not taken as seriously. You're not seen as someone who is smart enough to go to school. You know, if you're not a doctor, an engineer, a scientist, or an accountant, you are not on the path of being serious or no future ambition. If you wanted to do sports, if you wanted to do music, you know, those are things that. So for me, honestly, it really begins with self. Even for me coming from a musical family, you need to have that self-belief. You need to listen to the voice of God within you, because this is a calling. The truth of the matter is, you'll be restless when something is inside you and you don't do it and you don't listen, because you are paying more attention to what other people think, because of what they project on you in terms of how they think you should live your life, how you should do your music if you are going to do music, or how you shouldn't do music. Then once you are disconnected from yourself, that belief, that voice within you, then that will cause discord. But when you become more in harmony with yourself, in terms of accepting your task, your purpose, your role, and you believe, it emanates out to others. So for me, the challenge I had was I had the support from family members at home, but I wanted to do music in my own way. And my way is, as you can see, my clothes are, I'm a proud African. I'm in the diaspora like Chinedu here, but I don't see myself getting on a stage to sing and then sound and look like an American or a Westerner. What is the point? We have a lot of African culture and heritage and history that I want to echo with my music. So it starts with me sonically, the clothes that I wear. I make it a point to work with creatives back home, tailors, producers, musicians, so that I can use my dollar to help them hone their craft and support their families, but we make music that I can then export. So think about my music as oil. So, you know, working with the right people, having the right mindset for my music, the image I wanted to portray, the kind of music I do. When people hear that I'm related to Fela, they automatically expect me to be able to sing, play like Fela. I play my own style of music. I'm inspired by Fela. Same way I'm inspired by my parents, who are Tunde and Frank Kuboye, who are jazz artists. But I'm my own individual person. I'm not here to copy or to be trendy, to trend. I don't do music for trends. I do music to impact the culture and contribute my own quota. So my advice in my personal journey, the struggle I've had is I'm an independent artist. I'm not signed to a label yet. Not that I'm not open to it, but because of this journey of shaping myself in the way I want to, with my look, with my sound, and with my messaging, I'm beating down my own path. It's not a path that a lot of people know about or are familiar with. So people have to buy into or come on board with you, and that takes time. But in that time, you have to not persevere, be strong in your will and in your conviction of what you want to do and how you want to do it. If you don't know what you want to do, there are many people that will come with suggestions that can easily dissuade you or take you off your path. But you know your path, you know your calling, and you trust and believe, you know, then you will succeed. It's just a matter of time. So I encourage everyone, wherever you are, but especially in Nigeria, where I'm from, to follow your heart and always listen to what you want to do. And with time, you know, your answers, your prayers will be answered.
Wow, that's good. That's so. The part of growth. How did you see consistency? Because you have you have your own style. You have something like looks like a virgin kind of music.
Mm-hmm.
So you developed.
Yes.
You're not, even though you had influence from your father, from your uncle, and all that, but you wanted to put up your own originality, your
Yes.
own authenticity.
Mm-hmm.
So, how do you see the role of consistency in this kind of?
That's a very important question. And consistency is very important because when you're consistent, you are helping yourself grow. So, for example, I played the saxophone for you just now. I wasn't always playing saxophone. I only picked up the saxophone about a year and a half, 2 years ago. Before that, I was playing other instruments. And in your journey of being consistent, you find better ways. You perfect what you already know, but you also expand and improve your craft. So I thought to myself, it's important to have that dynamic with my performance or expression where if I'm tired of dancing or if I want to stop singing and rapping, I can still express myself and engage my audience with an instrument or two or three. I'm going to move to another instrument soon, but consistency is very important because, as they say, practice makes perfect. And when you're consistent, you perfect one thing, but that means you've expanded and beyond that. It's now time to move to something else. And for your audience wants to see that you are consistent too, not that you say something today and go quiet for the next 5, 7, 10 years. You always have to keep on. You have to keep on creating. You have to keep on putting yourself out there. You have to try new avenues, and with that, you find you find a way through. It's like a digging. If you want to try and dig for gold, you can scratch the surface and leave it. You keep on going until you get to the oil, to the gold, or to the water. And if after you found the gold, you want to now go and find something else, you keep on digging. But consistency, you took the words out of my mouth. I didn't say it in my first challenge answer if you asked me, but it's very important to be consistent, and it's the way that people can measure. You can even measure yourself in terms of growth, and that's very important. In anything in life, consistency is very
Wow, that's good. Oh, my people, you've heard about the role of consistency in getting to where it is today. So it's not just enough to choose your own niche or the route you want to follow in your specialization or career. But you need to put on hard work. Even when you don't think like showing up, you show up. When you don't feel like showing up, you show up. When people don't even feel like they're appreciating what you are doing, you're still showing up. And before you know it, so you have seen what all this thing has graduated to. I looked for you because we have seen a couple of what you do and places you have been touching. You know what matters. Our sages in Africa will always say, wherever the rose is planted, let it blossom. It's
yes.
not about where you stay; it's about the impact you create. Even though you're based in the United States now, but you are so showing the authenticity of African cultural values in your music. And I've seen a lot of tours and this you are going. So how is it how is it going?
I'm thankful. It's going well. It's going great. I won an award last year by the Hollywood Independent Music Awards for a song called Ikoyi Boy. Ikoyi is a place I don't know if you are from Lagos, but Ikoyi is where I was born, where I grew up. I went back home to shoot a video for that song and another song, but I won an award for that song that gave me some recognition here in the USA. And I'm thankful because I don't do music for awards, but it's also great to know when other peers, other artists or creatives acknowledge your work. It's important as well. It's like a peer review. And so for me to be honored among peers is an honor. And also with my music, I submitted some songs for the Grammys. I didn't get nominated, but even still being a member of the Recording Academy, being able to network and rub shoulders with high-level professional, top-level, world-class musicians or artists or creatives inspires me to want to do more. I've been able to go on tour, thankfully, with or without family. I mentioned earlier, I was able to tour with Femi Kuti. I've gone on my own tour. People are booking or more receptive to my music now because of the growth, the consistency, and maybe some of the acknowledgments I'm getting from external bodies. So I'm thankful for the journey. It's a blessing, and it inspired me to want to do more. What touches me is how with my music is Afrobeat. We like to dance, we like to jive. You know our people, you know how Nigeria is, and I love that. If with my music I can help you or anyone that listens to it get through their day or get through that enjoyment period, whether it's working out in the gym or using it to dance in a club, that for me is its purpose and with the message as well. So it's an ongoing journey, but I'm satisfied and I'm thankful for where I am right now. And there's a lot more to come as well. I just released a single this year called Aye about 2 or 3 weeks ago. In fact, this is actually quite an exclusive for you. This is the first interview I've done since I released that music. So it's and that's part of the consistency. Every year I create new music. If it's not a single, it's an album. You know, I find ways to connect with my fans on the road or on social media because, like you said, music is universal. It's not about where you're from. I'm blessed that I'm connecting with people in Australia, in South Africa, in Austria, in Europe, even back home in Nigeria, and here in the US, people who have the time can come and watch me play. So it's opened up a new world for me, you know, and I'm thankful for listening to that calling because it's one thing to have the talent, it's another thing to listen and yield and give to what your purpose is from the voice you hear within from God. So I'm just thankful for the journey.
Wow. Yeah, let me for a minute check up those who are on Instagram watching. You can see we have 113 people watching on Facebook and Instagram. Wow. A lot of people on Instagram. So, my people on Instagram, thank you for coming out. Those on YouTube, thank you for coming to watch our big brother who has dedicated his time and energy, even after studying engineering, to use music to convey the message of Africans undiluted. We appreciate him. Please send a love emoji in your comments to appreciate Baba Ikoibo, your Ikoibo. So, yeah, that's good. This Aye, is that Aye, right?
I was going to tell you, where are you from? Me, I'm an Ikoyi boy. Which boy are you from? Where are you from?
Yeah, I be Enugu boy. I do
Enugu boy.
I do forward to when they carry last. I enter Baba. I chop up with coke. I chop up with tea.
Okay.
Even though I worked and grew up in Lagos, I stayed in Ajegule 59 Agasa Street.
Okay.
I was very close to Daniel Akpabore. Then later I lived close to Dadishoki, number 1 Achapo, off Joromi by Bandre. Okay. So it's a Lagos for a two
it's never as a butter. This your cap where if as a butter said, who go know say that you be a boy.
So my brother, thank you for standing for Africa and doing what you did. I love the word you used today. That word is sacramentalized indelibly in my disposition today. It's not about just being talented, but yielding to the demands of your core. So for you to yield to the demands of a core, for you to be a mouthpiece for African people. So we so much appreciate you. But this Aye music,
yes.
How did it go? Can you tell us a little bit story?
Oh, of course.
How the tree was formed before the flowers started blossoming?
Aye means life. And Emirere means angel or good spirit. And there's lingua we use these days like vibes, vibration. So vibration is something that you can feel without being told. You and I are talking, I can feel that there are a lot of things that we are saying without even talking, but we understand each other.
Chemistry and energy.
Exactly, energy. So the song, the message of the song is, I will say one or two lines in the song that I said, when good things come to you, they come through the hands of another. So what good things do you have to give to another? So
wow, that's a punchline. That music is like, I don't know about Davido, his personal character. I used to wear a chain, number 7, because of Davido at the time. You know why?
Why?
Immediately I heard, we rise by lifting others. You know, that is just the message you are putting up now.
Yes.
You know, before you get anything reasonable, it comes from somebody. Then how do you also reciprocate?
How do you also receive? How do you also
gestures to humanity? Come on, bro. That's an angelic message. Please go on and explain. The thing just touched me. You know, sometimes music has anointing now. Nobody pastor gets anointing.
It's anointing. You are perfectly right. And many of us are focused on receiving. Nothing wrong with receiving. but what about giving to others? Giving to people that you don't know, not someone from Enugu or from Ajegule, someone from China, if you have the opportunity to, because in this world, as long as the sun shines and we can all breathe, we're all God's creatures. Whether you believe you're a Christian or a Muslim or a Fa, the blessings of the universe or God, whatever you want to call it, is all around us. You might have your beliefs, but everybody wants to feel, everybody wants to live life, everybody wants to love and be loved and share. And you can share that energy, you can give good vibes. And good vibe doesn't mean you should go and drop money for somebody. You know, we're from Nigeria now. I mean, it could be with your time, it could be with a gesture, it could be with, like, you know, encouraging someone, you know, but, you know, in any situation, be a positive impact or make a positive intentional choice to be positive in your response or your interaction with others. So you rise by lifting others, and you don't do it to give anything, to get anything in return. You know, people speak about people in my family like Fela, or even my great grandmother or my uncles, Fela's brothers, who were minister of health, you know, or served in the community, people that are civil servants. Or Fela didn't do it to get anything in return. He used his mouth to speak for the people because it was important to do so. You know, and thankfully, because people recognized and connected with that, he is what he is today. So, you know, but, you know, when your calling is to be your brother's keeper, and that brother doesn't have to be the brother that's from your village. It doesn't have to be somebody you know. You know, by the time you just share that around, you impacted somebody in a way that you will never know. But if that person can compound and pass that message on, then, you know, in a day, you could have maybe touched 1 million people by just helping one person. So how do you help others? And, you know, and also believe that, you know, you have received, or you'll be receiving your own through God and the universe. You don't have to do things to get anything back, but do it because it's the right thing to do. You know, so that was what that song Aye is about. And I featured Mercy Alu, who is a very prolific and
Okay, Dr. Mercy.
Yes, I featured her on the song. She has some powerful vocals. I mean, I put her in the range of the likes of Miriam Makeba, Yvonne Chaka Chaka, Angelique Kudjo. Mercy is an outstanding artist. She's a phenomenal performer and vocalist. And I was just so happy when she agreed to sing on the song with me. She's also a member of the Recording Academy. And I used a Recording Academy member. We collaborated, rather, a producer who is not even from Nigeria. He's from Iran. You know that he came up with an Afrobeat song that had a very nice guitar riff to it. And we thought, let's make music that changes the world. You know, you're from the Middle East, I'm from Africa, I'm in the US. You know, I mean, we're all God's creatures, no matter, despite your color, your sex, or your creed. Let's make music that helps unite people together. So Aye, you know, people say money makes the world go round. That's a very popular saying. I'm saying good vibes makes the world go round. And that's why I sang that song.
Wow, that's a great message, my brother. Too, I just say something came to my mind. I was going through your profile, I was going through your pages on social media when as a preparation for featuring you today. So I saw where Kuti said the bird, the big bird, he said something about you, he testified about you. So, and Seun is somebody that is known. There was a day I saw Fela playing in music. I think today Ed not posted it. Usually I don't comment anyhow, but Saturday I was touched and I commented under the Today Not page where he posted Fela. I said, Seun Kuti don't need a DNA. When I wrote Seun Kuti don't need a DNA, I had like 300 to 500 replies under that statement. So, yeah, I want to ask you. I saw him testifying about you, telling some stories of how you started with music, how music was part of you, that is follow come, that you are not doing something, that what you are doing is not a news to them. So, what also will you tell people about him?
Seun.
Yes.
Seun is a celebrity. Everybody knows Seun. There's nothing I can say that people don't know.
No, it's not about celebrity, but you as a brother.
Of course. Seun is my cousin. I actually saw him about 3 or 4 weeks ago. He was in the US touring. He was in Denver, Colorado. I actually went up to support him. You know, I'm always happy and proud to see anyone. So music, family aside, as anyone knows, music is an industry that can be challenging. And when someone is in the same Afrobeat space, regardless of who you are, I always give credit where it's due. And Seun, he has had his own challenges, even though, he's very well established now. But Seun is a very, very tenacious, very, very talented, very passionate man. He speaks and fights for his people too. It comes across in his music. He has the energy to take on, every single follower with every single comment and, and speak about his truth. He's shining his light the way he's meant to. He's done very well for himself, even though he's Fela son, he's created his own style and sound and music, which is different, unique from Fela. And he's a marvel to watch. I watched him perform before people knew him. I watched him perform briefly about 3 or 4 weeks ago. He's also a multi-instrumentalist, and he's an all-round talented, good guy. And he's also an inspiration in a way to me because he's doing it at that level that I see myself doing it too. So Seun is someone that and there's Seun, there's Femi, who I also observed and monitored in private, and there's Made. Among us in that Kuti realm or Kuboye realm, many of us chose not to do music, but some of us did. And the some that did, which was Seun, Femi, Made, and myself, it's an honor to watch and see how they've grown. Seun that I went to when I was studying engineering, Seun was studying music, and we used to come together. He was in Liverpool, I was in Birmingham. We'll always catch up over the summer or during the holidays. So I've watched him grow. He has been consistent too, because he knew from the beginning he wanted to do music. I knew after a while I wanted to do music, but he knew from the beginning. So he has a lot, he has not tapped into his full potential yet. I think he has a lot more going for him. He just released a song, Day or Day with one of the Malians. He's on tour. He's making new music, and he's following his passion and his purpose. So very proud of him.
Thank you for that. So, because the way he described you and the way he gave attestation, a very positive one about you in the social media. I know Seun to be somebody who don't mince words, and when he wants to say things, he doesn't care. But once he is convinced, he has subscribed to the truth. He shows every kind of brevity when he wants to say anything. Undiluted, so undiluted on trances. So when somebody like him gives attestation about somebody, that should be taken serious. So that's why I referred you to that part. So yeah, like you just mentioned somebody I know too, also Dr. Mercy Allo. Dr. Mercy Allo is a very wonderful person, and he has contributed in one way or two. And some of his achievements, she remains humble.
Yeah.
You will never know she has done that. She's a very intelligent person, accomplished academically and otherwise. I give her flowers and credit each time she comes my way. So thank you for mentioning her here.
No, I have to thank her as well. And like you said, she's humble, she's celebrated, yet she has that character where she's still open-minded and positive. Someone like her, like I said, is in the ranks of the Miriam Makibas, but she still opened her wings up to me to even collaborate with me. And I'm humbled by that. And, back to what you said about Seun, I mean, it's one of the great things about the family I come from is that, it's we're there to always support and encourage each other. Everybody's minding their own business. Everybody is obviously pursuing what they need to every day. But, it was heartwarming for me when Seun, Yeni Kuti, YK, Made also came out to come and say a few things about me off my last album from Ikoyi with Horns. It's a collective, so I'm humbled. And yes, what he said about me, he said a few things. And Seun is a joker. He likes to tease. So he's always a very tongue-in-cheek guy as well. But Mercy, she has some very powerful vocals. She's been encouraging on and off the microphone. We performed or created this music together. But aside that, the fact that she's helping to push in the diaspora, where we're not A-listers or we're not in a commercial pop trend, she has been able to help navigate artists who she feels and believes that have the talent to take it to the next level. So you know, sonically, she's phenomenal, but character and spirit-wise as well, I can say the same thing about
Okay. I remember you mentioned that you won an award with the Koyi music, and you also must have participated in one international award or the other. Can you tell us something about it, your experience, and how they view African contributions to the entertainment and music world worldwide?
her. Sure. There have been quite a few, to be honest, so forgive me if I miss one or two out. But I think the most recent one, which you might be referring to, was the Intercontinental Music Awards.
Sure.
And that one, the song "Soft Like" that I just played was a finalist in the Best Contemporary Song category, and I was honored to be part of that. Now, you know, there's a rise of Afrobeat. There's a rise in Afrobeat around the world, and you know what the Burna Boys, the Davidos, the Wizkids, the P Squares, the Banjis, the Two Faces. If we go back in time, those still go back to, you know, everybody. It's a collective momentum that's still building. It's not the same as rock or country music yet. We don't have that critical mass of following, but there's a rise and excitement in the music coming out of Africa, from Nigeria, West Africa, Afrobeat in general, because of the percussions, the production, how live and dynamic it is. So it's an honor now to see that bodies like the Intercontinental Music Awards, even the Grammys made a new category called Best African Music Performance. Was the first ever that was the one that Era Star, Davido, and Tyler, she won it for the song called Water this Grammy actually February.
Yeah.
So it's an exciting time to be in the genre. What has made it happen though is because we as Africans, we as Nigerians, we are wanting and demanding our own music. You know, we're Pan-Africanists, post-colonization is a time where we wished and believed the thing of the West is better than what we have. So in the clubs or in Nigeria or in entertainment, we want to be watching American movies or English movies and American music. But now we have our Nollywood, which you are a star in that place. We haven't spoken about that one on this interview. But also with the music too, we ask for our own everywhere we go. So the genre is rising because we are embracing and loving our culture more now. And that's a part that a lot of people I think sometimes forget to acknowledge. Because we love and appreciate and support and ask for our own, we make enough noise about it. Others are now hearing and wanting to buy into it. So it's a great place and space right now to be in Afrobeats. And there's more to come. Burna Boy performed for the first time, Grammys ever, for the first time ever, Afrobeat was on the Grammys on the live broadcast. You know, that is momentum. That is something to be proud of. And it's thanks to people like you who echo us in the diaspora, and to all the fans who listen to music of those they know or those who are upcoming and support and encourage and just, you know, vibe to the music. So it's Intercontinental Music Awards was one. The Grammys is another. The Hollywood Independent Music Awards is a third. There are some local awards that I've been honored to have been received in Texas. The Deep Ellum Entertainment Awards, the Plano Music Awards. So I'm just thankful. Forgive me if I've missed any, but you know, I'm glad to see that it's not about me receiving awards. It's about the genre. It's about the culture. You know, what I'm wearing is not new. It's Ankara. We all wear Ankara. You know, when we choose to, but I choose to make that the forefront of my music.
Wow, that's great. Congratulations. And congratulations. And we wish that maybe the next time we'll be having you here, you must have been maybe you must have won some other great, maybe Grammy and all those things. So because the difference between, I read a book by Norman Vincent Peale. He calls it the power of positive thinking. He said the power of positive thinking.
Okay.
The difference between can and cannot is the not. If you remove the not, you can. I read another book by Schooler. He said, tough times do not last, but tough people do. I read another book by Robert Greene. He called it 33 Strategies of War. He said, whatever you garbage in the positivity, you know, the universe returns back to you.
Yes.
So we need to push more and more. As we congratulate you, You know, they say appreciation is an application for more. You know, as we appreciate you, we also apply that you go and get us more and more international and global awards. And we know it's in you. I read another book, yeah, by Ozontos, The Art of War. It says, men, achievers don't lose their heads in a crowd. Because if they do, they will bomb the wrong shop and smack the wrong guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so you're an achiever. You can't lose your head in the crowd. So we support you. We pray for you. We listen to your music. We vibe the music.
Yeah, right.
And show that Africa is Africa and Africa is original. So thank you and congratulations. Once more, a lot of people are congratulating. Even Mesalu, woo! Mesalu is even in the show.
I greet everybody.
So that's it. And thank you, my brother, for coming. But before we come down, I want to ask you something concerning the kind of music we do before, like the one your uncles did. Because the way I'm looking at you, your music look like you don't belong to the Gen Z.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Gen Z is from, I interviewed Baba Frayo the other day. So on Wednesday, I'll be talking with Dad Shoki. I've spoken to some people because also I solicit for intergenerational conversation, the continuity and its sustenance, so that the Gen Zs don't lose it out. But you know, all we are doing today is a new model of ideologies that are existing in Africa.
Yes.
It's just that we remodel, we repackage, and make a newer presentation. It's not as if the substance is new.
I agree. Yes.
It's not. So, but there is this thing that trails the Gen Zs and their music. That is, we fake it to make it. So, from the way we are looking at your originality and authenticity, you are indifferent from this kind of ideology. So why did you choose to be different from things that make people trend, things that bring more viewers, things that you just want to be original? You just want to pass the message. You don't want to form anything. You don't want to fake it to make it. And what will be your advice for those who do the opposite?
So there's a saying that goes that beauty is in the eye of the beholder. For those that, there's nothing wrong in those that want to follow trends. I will not be one to condemn or say anything about that. I'll just be thankful to say that my parents taught me from a very early age. I watched them. They were original with their music. The thing about trends is that the trend has to pick up before you can catch on to it. And by the time you say you want to now be on a trend, the trend has moved on. And, you know, if you want to make a statement like I do or be original, just be yourself, create your own trend. I like and appreciate and the people, the Jay-Z's, you know, the Tupacs or the Kendrick Lamars, whoever is trending, the Wizkids, the Burna Boys, the Davidos, they have their own style. They may repackage it in their own way. You know, even Fela, you would say, you know, he took from high life, he took from jazz, and then he made Afrobeat. So it was with consistency, you then find your own sure footing. So for those who want to start by emulating or copying, you know, that's the best form of flattery. You can do that. But even if once you're consistent after a while, you then realize that, you know, you can add your own spin to this, you know. So it's never my place to judge or condemn. For me, I'm thankful that I knew from a very early age from my parents that be yourself, and you will attract what is for you. And your original self is beautiful and well formed. It's how God made you. If you see somebody else that is different and is doing well and successful, acknowledge and appreciate that. Learn from it, but you also are an individual. You are unique. You are idiosyncratic in your own way. Let that character shine. Let that light shine, because it's important. You know. So I'm thankful that with my music, I always choose to do what I think is important at the time. It may not be what I think everybody else is doing, but I'm happy with that because that way that helps separate me from everybody else. So once there's comfort in not following the crowd, and that only comes from within, then you created a world and an avenue for yourself for people to see and appreciate your style of music. So I encourage everyone to be original if they can, and it's okay to copy in the beginning. Most people do. When you're learning how to walk, even a baby will look at you and try and copy you first, to do that. So it's okay to take from others, there's nothing new under the sun. You actually said it right to your question. It's how it's packaged and formed and evolved with your own spin. So my music is a continuation of what was built on by the likes of my parents with jazz, high life, Afro funk, and now Afro beat. I would call it new school Afro beat. It's not 30 minutes long like Fela songs, we might allow you on radio these days, those kind of songs. But it's intentional, and I grew up in an era where I am I am utilizing my strengths. My strengths are my voice and my mind, and I have a great talking voice, a great rapping voice. I use that. I have a great baritone range in my singing, and I use that in my music. Now, I wouldn't do well if I tried to sing like Whiskey or Davido. I can try, but that wouldn't work for me. So I've also learned to understand myself and my craft and my strengths and use that to present my music. And that's how I've come up with the style that I have right
Yeah, thank you for being yourself. Before we draw the curtain today, because we're almost approaching 1 hour and we don't want to stretch it so much, we congratulate you and we announce to people. I will also offer you a privilege of, if you have your flyers like for your talk, always make it available. We'll use our platform. Our platform looks small for those who don't know it, but it touches very reasonable people because we have it's not about how many followers or this, but what's the kind of audience you have? What's the makeup? If you look at my show, you see me interviewing ministers, interviewing the kind of people, serving senators in US and others. So we have authentic, reasonable, and mind-blowing audience. And we would want them to look at what you do. So we want to partner with you as far as it has to do with publicity. So anything you want to put out there, maybe your talk or whatever, make it available to us.
I will, sir. Mr. Chinedu Anichi, thank you. I definitely will. So we're definitely going on the road very soon. I have 2 shows in Dallas in the next 2 weeks, and I go on the road for Felabration, which is celebrating Fela's music. I'll also be playing my own music too. I'm traveling with a band, so I'll definitely share that information with you, and I'll appreciate that you share with your audience too.
Okay, so if we round up without talking about where we come from, it will look as if we don't have consent, even though both of us are in diaspora. But the choking angry finger and the situation of Nigeria is something we cannot hide again. What's your message? Consolating message or prophetic message or whatever you will call it as the mouthpiece of Africa and music? What will you tell the young people in Nigeria? What's your message to them?
Wow, beautiful, beautiful question. And I'm glad that it's the question I ask myself all the time too. And the song that I won an award for, Kuboye, I spoke about that, So, there are a few lines I said there, but the ones that I think are pertinent are that I celebrate my people with the hustle to survive. Our spirit is together as we find a better life. I dedicate that song to everybody in this fight. For you, we turn up tonight. So I'm feeling good, I'm feeling nice. So I thank God for blessings. You have to always be grateful. Thank God for your blessings. Be grateful and believe. Nigeria is a young country. We are young compared to who we are comparing ourselves to. Our colonialists of the West. We're finding our feet. We have used democracy to try and navigate the different tribes, the different religions, the different coming together of a piece of land. We should be patient with ourselves. And honestly speaking, hand on heart, we've done very well to have smooth transition of power. Chinedu, I'm sure you're old enough to remember when there were military coups, when there were lots of things. So we have a lot that is going for us. I know it's easy for us to forget about that because of the hardship, but we are young and the sky is the limit. We have so many natural resources, but the people, the tenacity of the Nigerians, the one thing that we actually all overlook, including our leaders, is the resources of the people. The mindset, the spirit, the character is something that every other country in the world is still amazed by Nigeria. So let's take heart. I'm proudly Nigerian. I write songs about people coming to visit Nigeria, Wazobia. I embrace our diversity. I embrace the fact that you are from the East and from the West. It doesn't mean that we should. That is a strength. It's not a weakness, you know. So I encourage us to just continue thinking positively and see where we've had growth and success, and see where we can improve, rather than just focus on what is bad. There's a lot that is going on for us that is good, even though that there are one or two pinching things right now that make it difficult for us to see beyond that. So count your blessings always. That's my message to the people.
Yeah, thank you for that strong message to Nigerians. Thank you. As a Nigerian, it shows that you are actively involved and you have the feeling and the empathy of people. So thank you for thinking Nigeria. Thank you for being an African. Really, that's why, and that is the kind of people who celebrate in this platform. And we're proud to have you. And we're proud to hear your voice. But before we wrap up the curtain for the day, what can you say about Chinedu Anichi TV, this African voice in diaspora?
Chinedu, well, you showered me with so many compliments. I guess it's my turn to say something about this Enugu boy that used to live in Ajegunle. So thank you for what you do as well. I mean, your audience is people here in the diaspora with us and people back home. But you are here in the diaspora and you know the intricacies, and I won't say challenges, but the dynamics of having to be a voice for people who are not here. I thank you for presenting Africa and Nigeria in a form where people here think that, you know, Africa are people who live on trees, you know, that we're not well developed. But I'm glad and happy to see well-spoken people like you put together shows at a platform like this where artists like myself, you mentioned that Ishoki, who I grew up listening to as well, Papa Fayo, you know, a chance and opportunity to come and let people hear and know and see. So honestly, as much as you give me my flowers, I have to give it to you as well. With people like you here, you're helping expand the exposure of well put together Africans doing something meaningful outside Africa. And that's important. That's important for those back home to see how others are doing here. And it's important for those who are here to see, okay, well, if I want to find out about Africa or Nigeria, where can I go? And Chinedu Anichi TV is the place to go. So keep watching. On behalf of you, I will thank your fans and anyone that tunes in to watch you regularly. You are consistent, you know, as well, because you have different guests on every day. Thank you for what you do, and thank you for your time in prepping and allowing me to come into your show and share in your world. For that, I'm very grateful.
Yeah, thank you, Baba Kuboye, Ikoyi boy. Thank you. We appreciate everything, and we appreciate you. We appreciate all your management. We appreciate everybody. And finally, give a shout out to anybody you choose to.
I want to shout out to everyone that's watching this show right now. I want to shout out to anyone who's always supporting me. Thank you to all my fans. Thank you to my family. Thank you to Chinedu Anichi. Thank you to Mercy for our son, Aye. Thank you to my team at Down for Whatever Entertainment. Thank you to everyone I've worked with. The sky's the limit. There's a lot of momentum. A lot of great things are happening this year for us. It's an exciting space. Don't touch that dial. If you're interested in following me, babakuboye.com or Baba Kuboye on all my social media networks, whether it's Twitter or X, Snapchat, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. That's where you can find me. And on my music as well, on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music. But don't touch that dial. Stay tuned. I always have more music coming in. Cheers.
Yeah, thank you, Baba Kuboye, the Ikoyi boy. Next time I will meet you, I want to see the Grammy Awards in your hands.
You go do that. I go put up on this.
You go put that like this. You go find the people, you don't get anything.
Like when the video looks like you just say.
That's the first thing I'll ask you. I'll tell you, where is that thing we discussed last time? Where? Show us. Show us.
Yeah.
Okay, finally, we are closing. Please just use this as a phone. Talk let's hear the sound from you as we run the curtain. Any sound you can produce to show us who we have always been with. Because we continue to be with you.
Okay, you want me to say something, or when you say sound, what
I
you
think
mean?
your sound, your saxophone, just do something as we wrap the curtain. Thank you for coming. Thank you, we celebrate you. Please go now and follow Baba Kuboye in all social media and in his website. Please download his music. Please stream the music. Please, we want to see an impact. Let him see an impact for coming to this show too, so that he will call me and say, Chinedu, since I came to your show, they are celebrating. Please, my follower, don't fall my hand, though. Go and follow Baba Kuboye. God bless you.
God bless you too. The song I'm going to play is from Kuboye, the horn line that goes with that too. So as we close out, I'm feeling good, I'm feeling nice, so I thank God for blessings.
Wow. Thank you, and good night. Thank you. We're proud having you. God bless you. Thank you. Hello, my people. You have seen it. This is Chinedu Anichi, your one and only celebrity CSO, streaming live from St. Louis, Missouri, United States of America. Today, I presented to you a man who really knows what Africa is, who read engineering and decided to take a niche to communicate Africa. Come on, go and show him love through his followership, through streaming his music. I want him to see a sign that he was in this show. God bless you. I love you. Remember, humanity is at the center of what we do. We rise by lifting others. He also said it in his music career. I don't know how to interpret it today. Any blessing you see came from someone. How do you reciprocate that good gesture to humanity? That is his message. And I subscribe to that message. So go out today and touch somebody's life. Regardless of religion, tribe, color, or race. Humanity is at the center of what we do. God bless you. Remember, this is Chinedu Anichi TV, the African voice in diaspora. I love you. Bye.